Want to pursue higher education in the United States? Who doesn't? Well, this one's definitely for you. More than 30 U.S. colleges and universities are participating in the Education USA Fair happening this Saturday at the Shangri-La Mall in Mandaluyong City. Now, to tell us more about this year's fair, with us now in the studio is Nina Lewis. She's the Cultural Affairs Officer of the U.S. Embassy in the Philippines. And the U.S. Embassy is the organizer of the event along with the Philippine-American Educational Foundation. Good morning, Nina. Thank you for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you. Nina, exciting stuff. This is the 6th edition of the Education USA Philippines Fair. And the goal is to bridge U.S. school administrators with prospective international students that can participate or who want to participate in the fair. What can students expect? I'd like to line up.
Well, students can expect to see a robust group of colleges and universities represented at the fair. Right. We'll also have our Education USA advisors, representatives from our Fulbright Commission, you mentioned PIEF, so they can get information about how to apply to U.S. universities generally, testing requirements, funding. So then they can go around and talk to different admissions personnel from different universities and find out, what a specific college offers and what might be of interest to them.
Okay, how many colleges are actually participating in this fair?
So we have more than 30. I think the number today is 32.
Okay. How do you suggest we best go about this? I've attended one or two fairs before. It can be a little daunting to sort of try and figure out where to start, where to begin. What should you have with you? How should you prepare for coming out for the day and really sort of meeting some of the administrators and making the most out of the day that you spend there?
I think thinking before you go about what your real interests are.
Yeah.
So most students who study in the U.S. go as an undeclared major, so you don't have to know specifically what you're studying, but thinking about maybe geographically where you'd like to go.
Okay.
A lot of students have family in California, for example, so they might be thinking, oh, I could live with my aunts in California. So that might help them target which colleges or universities they really want to spend more time at when they're at the fair. Okay.
That said, though, I mean, you don't necessarily have to limit yourself to where you might have family. There are obviously arrangements that you can consider for people who may not have relatives or that sort of thing, that sort of safety net or fallback. What are some of the ways that you can go about figuring out what would be the best arrangement for you?
So most colleges and universities in the U.S. have dormitory facilities, or if they don't, there are private apartments off campus available. In fact, some of the large universities require students to spend at least 1 year on campus.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah, so living in a dorm can be a really fun experience for students, and especially when you're coming from overseas. That's a really good way to meet a lot of students really quickly and make a lot of really great friends.
I think it really does sort of round off the experience too. What are some of the short courses available? Obviously, you can go for a degree course, you can go for something long, but you can consider something shorter as well.
Absolutely. So a lot of students choose to do summer courses in the U.S., and there's a wide variety.
I've done one. Yeah.
I heard you were at NYU, a great school.
I did a short stint, yeah.
So, I mean, students enjoy going for these short programs. Some of them they can get credits for, and some of them are non-credit.
Okay.
So usually in the U.S. summer, so June, July, and also sometimes during the Christmas vacation.
Okay. I'm sure the qualifications and requirements have changed since my day, which was way back. What do students need to have? There's the IELTS, there's your ISIC requirements. What are some of the things that you should sort of figure out before, whether or not you decide which campus or university you're considering? What are the mandatories that you should be thinking of?
That's a great question, and it continues to change. I think the pandemic changed so many things. And one of the things we've seen a lot of changes is testing requirements.
Right.
So it's really up to each individual university or college what their requirements are going to be.
Okay.
So some campuses are completely open, and we have a lot of community colleges that it's open enrollment. Any student can enroll, and then it's up to you to succeed. But other ones will require that you take the SAT or the ACT exam. Some of them will require IELTS, even though Filipinos are excellent in English. Right. So it's up to you to really research and talk to each admissions office and find out what is required of Filipino students to study at that particular institution.
Okay. Here we're sort of, I don't know, in the middle of a transition from hybrid, from online to hybrid, from hybrid to full face-to-face. What's the scene like now as far as going to a college in the U.S.?
It's a great question. The U.S. is very open right now. And so most colleges are doing fully in person. Yeah. But again, it really depends. So all of the colleges are not linked to each other. You know, they're independent colleges and universities, so it depends. A lot of students, especially I think in grad programs, have found great success with distance learning. So there are different offerings, and of course you could avail of distance learning here in the Philippines and get a degree from a U.S. university.
Okay, I've got it down here that there are 5 steps to study in the U.S. You know, let's establish what these are.
Okay, so we start out by doing your research, right? You want to find out what kind of college or university you want to go to. And we take you all the way through the 5 steps until you arrive in the U.S. So we do a pre-departure orientation here, and we send the students off to the United States and wish them well. So you can find out more about the 5 steps and actually go through all of them on our website at Education USA or through the embassy's website.
Okay, what have students or people who have attended these gatherings, what have they said? You know, how have they come away from, or what kind of information have they come away with after coming and spending the day and talking to some of these admissions officers?
Well, we've had students who have come out and found out that a college or university that wasn't even on their radar actually has a really great program for them, or has a scholarship specific to Filipino students or students who are looking to study what they want. So I think it kind of can open your eyes to options that you're not aware of, and might be that last thing that you need to get the funding in place to get yourself to the U.S.
Speaking of that, you know, scholarships are going to be something that people are most interested in. What are some of the options and possibilities?
So I'll start off by saying the Embassy and Education USA, we don't actually have a scholarship program. But what we do is help connect students with colleges and universities that do offer funding, and tell them when opportunities are available for scholarships. And then
these are academic scholarships, you know, they vary.
They can run the gamut. It can be for a sport, it can be for a talent, it can be for writing an essay. So really, you know, scholarships come in all forms. And then through PIF, which is a binational commission, we do have our Fulbright program. So for undergrad students, we have the Global UGrad program, and then we have a variety of graduate programs, and those are funded partly by the U.S. government and partly by the Philippine government.
Well, here's the great news. Attending on Saturday is a full scholarship. You don't have to pay anything at all. It's completely free. So let's invite everybody to join this USA Study in the U.S. Fair. It's going to be pretty exciting. Please.
Sure. So please go ahead and register. You can register online. You can find more information online on the U.S. Embassy website or on the Education USA Philippines website. Register, come out and see us. We'll be happy to provide information and chat with you, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Saturday.
Awesome. See you on Saturday then, Nina. That was the U.S. Embassy Cultural Affairs Officer, Nina Lewis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.